is the one that's in the electrolysis, so you can see all of that. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Big Red Fish Dad. I'm going to season all these pans. My son actually comes, my older son, he came over here and he always uses our pans. Says he'd like to have some cast iron, so my wife found all of these. So this is a Dutch oven here, it's a nice little Lodge. So this is a Lodge Dutch oven and a Lodge, I don't know, griddle. I guess this is really for camping, but it would actually work out as a good pan in the oven. A little fajita pan, tortilla fry pan, and even this steel griddle here. But this is actually going to be taken out to the shop to use for a welding. We're going to straighten it out a little bit, and then we can weld like those crosses and little projects on here. Has a good clamp for ground. Sand it down, wire wheel it every time we're done, and it'd be perfect for welding. So yesterday I seasoned all these, and I didn't get a chance to, I didn't even think about videoing it because I forgot that this one is the one that's in the electrolysis. So you can see all of that rust that's still in there. I don't know if you can get it on my finger or not. So I need to it's been sitting on the shelf over here waiting to be done, and just haven't got around to it. And it's been probably, I don't know, a year maybe, I don't know. I'll have to look at the date and see when that was posted. The other thing is I also have my large Dutch oven over there that we use camping, and we took it this time and took the chili, did the chili in there like we always do, and I noticed that it was sticking a little bit and that kind of thing, so I just brought it in and I'm going to clean it up and re-season it along with these two. These are the last two I have to do. I did the lid for this one yesterday in this batch, so it's all nice and done. It's around here somewhere. Yeah, here's the lid. So I got the lid finished for it. Basically it came out like that. So next step is to, basically first step, if it's a new, like this one's a Lodge, it'll come, well, I think a lot of them come pre-seasoned now, but if you do get one that's brand new that's not seasoned, still same thing. You're going to take these, put them in the sink over here. I've got the lid for the large Dutch oven over there already getting ready to clean it. Just wash it with soap and water, Dawn, whatever, rinse it off real good. Take a damp paper towel and clean it off after that. Make sure you dry it real well. So that's what I'm going to do to these two and the lid. I already washed the large Dutch oven. So next thing is just to clean these off in the sink and wash them down real good. So just make sure you wash everything really well with soap and water. Get all the extra stuff off, a little bit of the rust, just a little bit of surface rust like that. That's just from, you know, sitting around. This one was on the back porch. We didn't bring it in and put it in the shed after we were camping last year. That's why it got a little bit, because of the condensation and the mist of the rain that comes on underneath and all that kind of stuff. Got it kind of dirty, so that's why I'm redoing him. So wash with soap and water first. And you're also going to want to use like these thicker steel things. You don't want to use like the SOS pads because they don't have enough roughness to it to scratch all the stuff off. So go find you some of these. They're in the same cleaning aisle as those little scrunchies and stuff. So just make sure you find something that's a little bit rougher. Some people even fold up foil and use, you know, crumpled up foil to, you know, get some of the stuff off. But these have already been, well, this one has already been through electrolysis, and it's pretty clean, as you can see. So it's just getting this little extras out of the insides and all of that. And then those ones we got for $25 for 1, 2, 3, 4 pans for 25 bucks, all cast iron. That's not bad, especially since they didn't even need to go through the electrolysis. They weren't that rusted. So anyway, clean everything up, soap and water. Once you wash them all off with soap and water, make sure you really dry them. Don't let any water sit on them, or you'll get that little bit of, you know, surface rust again. And there's still going to be a little bit on there. So I always, you just kind of wipe it down pretty good, and then stick it on a hot fire to finish drying it real quick. So the next step is to just thoroughly coat with vegetable oil. Now you want to be very generous and get it wet, basically. So I just pour some in. Now Some people are going to complain about this, but I'm not done yet. So this is just so that I can get in all the cook nooks and crannies, especially since these are used and have a little bit of pitting and porous in there. So I want to make sure that I'm got a lot of grease in here. Before you stick it in your oven, so preheat your oven to 400, but before you stick it into your oven, you're going to want to take a brand new set of paper towels that are dry and get all the excess off. You want just a thin coat when it goes into the oven. Yeah, just make sure you get all these little areas like this, because anywhere that's not seasoned will rust over time, and then you'll be doing this again. So just make sure that you know, like I said, that's why I go with a lot of oil and just put it everywhere, and then I come back and, you know, get it wiped down to the thin coat to go in the oven. Alright, so I'm going to get all these oiled down. Just got my large Dutch oven to do as well. Once I get them done, I will come back and put them in the oven. Okay, so I've got my initial coat. I'm just going to take a new dry paper towel and get some of the excess off so that it's just a thin coat and won't have any drips. Okay, after you get all the excess off, stick them in there upside down in the oven. And then you will want to basically cook them upside down for 1 hour at 400 degrees, and then you will turn the oven off. Once that goes on or off, then you just turn your oven off, let it cool down in the oven. So it'll be several hours while you do this. It's gonna stink. If you can do it in the fall like we are, you'll be able to open your windows and doors. Otherwise, you'll get a complaint from your wife because it does smell pretty bad. Okay, your timer's going off. Just turn your timer off. And I told you my wife came and turned that fan on because it stinks. And then just turn your oven off. Let it sit for till it cools off, and you can take the pans out. So it'll probably be a couple hours. So here's a perfect example of what I was talking about. If you put too much oil on it, you can see right in there how it's kind of got that, I don't know, Ripley effect or whatever. This one's not so bad, especially the bottom. It looks okay. So this is my Dutch oven I had. So I'm gonna go ahead and just clean him off one more time and do another coat on him, and that should get rid of that for the most part, and he'll be okay. What you could do is, if you really messed up and it was really bad, just put it back in the oven on auto clean, wipe all of that off, clean it off again, and start over. You wouldn't have to do a real good scrubbing on him because the auto clean would get most of that off of there, and that'd be it. But there we go. That's the bounty. They all came out. Look pretty good. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.